forgotten gods, because that's mostly what was in the objects he was finding in Mexico. Were probably a lot of them were gods of the Aztecs and other Indians like that.
What was the name again?
Buried.
My
buried
name is
cities.
Roland
Oh, his name?
Harrison.
Roland Harrison?
Roland. There are 2 copies you can check out of the library.
The public library? Or
Yeah.
the public
What was
library?
the last name?
Harrison.
Like Harrison
He's on the
Ford.
board up here.
Harrison Ford, like in Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah.
He's a
Or
real
Star
person.
Wars?
Or
I-
Benjamin
Star
Harrison.
I
Or
spent,
William Henry Harrison.
what happened with that was, he didn't ever throw anything away, and as you see, I don't throw anything away. And he had 7 sons that grew to maturity, and my mother was right in the middle of them. And so, being an entrepreneur, you might say, as well as being the archaeologist and mineralogist, he liked to talk about it and write about it. And so he even had a record, clipping service in New York that would save everything he published. So I have at least 600 newspaper articles that he wrote and 400 letters that he had received from people all around the world, asking him about it. And
So world's famous.
yeah, he
Sounds
was at
like
the
it.
time. And so, I could talk, don't get me started on this. But
Subject for another
what
meeting.
happened was that I had all this material, and there was another man, still he's younger than I am quite a bit, that knew about my grandfather, and he was in the university, or maybe even high school in 1972, I think it was. He wrote to me and asked me a question about my grandfather. And he had already gotten some stuff knew what my grandfather's diary had in it. And so he said, "Do you know anything about this?" And I went and found the copy of the diary that I had, and so I copied it. And he got it, he said, "Aha." He was looking for gold at the time, and he kept his own diary about where it was and everything else. And that part of the diary he gave that he was looking at was in the American Museum of Natural History, and he didn't want to tell everybody where it was. So he didn't write a biography at that time, but after he graduated, he actually was a Rhodes Scholar. He went to England, but he wrote me back in about 1988 and said, "I would like to do this." And I said, "Fine, I'm retired, let's go." And so we worked for 11 years and digging up much more than I had before.
Oh, I see.
Wow.
On your grandfather, was it your grandfather on the book that you wrote the book about?
Yes.
Does it describe everything he had ever found and what he'd never found?
He described a whole lot of things, but the thing was, back in then and since then, you're supposed to have a provenance. You're supposed to say what it means. And he did not know what everything meant. But he would go and dig it up and show pictures of it, publish about it, and say, "What do you think of it?" to the people. He had never graduated from the university. In fact, the only scholarship I know of it was that he went to the Common Schools of Scotland. But he was an excellent speaker. He knew all kinds of words because he gave these talks. There was a 333-year thing up in Santa Fe in 1880, somewhere. Anyway, and he gave a talk, and he was talking about, well, I don't have the Argentinius tongue to speak like some of the other people. And maybe you don't know what that means, but that's a silver coated.
Yeah.
tongue, meaning you really could speak. But he could, and he kept everybody enthralled. And I can, well, I'll shut up. Was there another question?
I think we wanted just to say our appreciation for you guys taking time out of your